This is KSLA News Now.
Well, thanks for joining us. You're watching KSLA News Now. I'm Jeff Horchak. Here's a look at some of our top headlines today. This Mount Pleasant man, Jaquavian Vaisley, could face life in prison after he was found guilty of conspiracy to distribute fentanyl, leading to the deaths of 2 people. Now, Mount Pleasant police say that Vaisley was found guilty on 5 counts of conspiracy to distribute fentanyl, causing death, and possession with intent to distribute fentanyl. Now, police tell us that he was a suspect in a fentanyl-related death back in March of 2023. While he was out on bond, Mount Pleasant police say that there was a second fentanyl-related death a month later, also involving Vaisley. He faces between 20 years to life in prison. Well, Shreveport police say that a 5-year-old boy who suffered severe injuries in January from suspected child abuse should recover. Now, you may remember it was a couple of weeks ago when the child arrived at a local hospital with life-threatening injuries. Doctors found bruising covering about 60% of the child's body. Now, the young boy also had a broken wrist and a broken nose. The hospital called police because of how severe the child's injuries were. The police arrested Shadiman Prude and Quincinian Champ in this case. Prude faces 2 counts of improper supervision and 1 count of neglect. Champ faces a charge of second-degree cruelty to a juvenile. Champ and Prude were recently denied bond, and even though the child is expected to recover, we're told that he could have some severe lasting effects from those injuries. Well, today, new developments in the recent death of a woman who was hit by a Shreveport police unit. The family tells us they now have hired a lawyer. Evelyn Alexander's family says they decided to get legal counsel to help understand the circumstances of what actually happened and find out if proper emergency protocols were followed. The 75-year-old Alexander was hit by the Shreveport police unit Tuesday night on Greenwood Road. Police say the officer was responding to a call but did not have his emergency lights on. We're told the incident is still under investigation and the officer is currently on leave. In a more lighthearted news, I should say, the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office is reopening their transitional work program after closing it down for 6 years, and with the goal of giving inmates a second chance. Now, according to the Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections, over 40% of people released from custody return within about 5 years. This program allows inmates to gain some work experience, learn skills, and earn income. The facility holds about 160 people and partners with 5 businesses for employment. Now, Brent Burgess participated in the program before it closed in 2021.
I was glad to see the program back up and running. I'm excited to be able to work with the guys that are coming through here and be able to tell them that I understand where you're at and it's okay and you're no different than any other employee that's here.
The goal is to not only free up space in the crowded Caddo Correctional Center, but also to lower incarceration rates as a whole. The Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office says this facility will open on Monday. Well, the historic downtown YMCA celebrated 100 years of service today. This facility has served generations of Shreveport families since opening back in 1926. Now, community members gathered to reflect on memories and the impact that this place has made on their lives. The leaders say that members are the heart of the organization. Without them, they're just a building. And as they celebrate their past, the YMCA is already looking ahead to the next 100 years of serving the community.
And we're looking at some cooler conditions for Saturday. I'll have more details on your weekend forecast next.
Now, KSLA First Alert Weather.
And there's a live look over downtown Shreveport, looking pretty nice out there tonight. It was an incredibly warm day today. We actually made it into the low 80s, not record breaking, but definitely close. We made it close to about 83, I think was our high temperature in Shreveport. I got to double check that number, but we definitely were warm. Cooler for Saturday, mid 60s in the forecast. Still plenty of sun. Should be some great weather for the crew of Centaur. Warmer air does return as we head into Sunday and Monday. We're back in those mid to upper 70s. So again, this cool down is only going to last about one day. And then looking ahead to next week, there is a system that arrives on Tuesday. Could bring a little bit of rain. It does not look very impressive at all, though. Here's the forecast heading through the rest of the evening. Temperatures will stay in the 50s here, so nice mild night tonight. 55 degrees by about 1 a.m. and even by about 3 o'clock in the morning, still in low 50s. But eventually we're going to end up in the mid 40s. These will be your wake-up temperatures tomorrow morning, so it'll be definitely chilly. You'll need the jackets, but we're going to see some pretty nice conditions here for tomorrow as well. So here's the crew of Centaur Parade. If you're heading down there right around the time the parade rolls at 3 p.m., not nearly as warm as it was today. So I want to kind of emphasize that. You might need a jacket tomorrow, but we're going to see a lot of sunshine and temperatures of about 67 degrees by the time that parade rolls. We'll stay in the 60s throughout the duration of the parade. So really some very pleasant conditions. 67 Texarkana. 66 there in Natchitoches. Minden, you're at 65, upper 60s, even maybe a few low 70s out there in portions of East Texas. And then we track that next system. This is the one that's going to arrive on Tuesday. And again, not very impressive here. Maybe just a few showers, but really not a lot of rain anticipated and really not even a drop in temperatures. So this thing's going to come through the area and you might not even really notice much out of it. But about a 30% chance of rain on Tuesday. So again, not impressive at all. That next system, though, by the end of next week, that's one I'm going to keep a close watch on. That one is a bit stronger, and that could have maybe some bigger impacts on the area, so we'll have more updates on that as we get closer. So you combine Tuesday's rainfall with Friday's rainfall next week, so both systems together. This is your 7-day rainfall total, and not very impressive here. We're talking maybe a quarter of an inch at best, so it's really not going to be enough to help us out very much with our ongoing drought. 67 with sunshine for Saturday, 75 on Sunday, and then we rise back up, I should say, to 77 on Monday. Some showers possible Tuesday, but look how warm it's going to stay. Mid 70s all the way through Wednesday and Thursday, with that stronger system maybe bringing some more widespread rain by the very end of next week.
All right, thank you so much, Matt. You can join us right here for our next newscast at 10 o'clock. Until then, you can stay connected right on our KSLA News 12 app. Just make sure you download it. Have a good night. We'll see you at 10.